Okay, we're going to start practice today with some pranayama. It's very important that you don't do this practice when it feels really uncomfortable. It's so important you don't do that. What you need to do is, as soon as it feels uncomfortable, you need to stop, because this can literally get rid of disease in the body if done properly. But if you're doing this when you're feeling miserable, it actually could cause a disease in the body. So it can be counteractive if you're doing this and it's hurt so bad and you keep doing it and keep doing it. It's so important to stop and take a few cleansing breaths, and then you'll notice as soon as you start pumping again, it'll feel completely different because you stopped for a moment. So it's real important to stop. Take a cleansing breath, as many as you need to. But then pump the belly again. You might only get a couple pumps and you need to stop all over again. That's okay. Just keep stopping, going, and find a 10-minute window to do that in. So we'll do it here for just a few minutes. So gently start to pump your belly. And to get this right, it's real important we do this right. Right now I'm pumping my belly in and out. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not using the breath with it because I'm talking. So it can be healing as long as it's gentle and it's not hurting you. So act like you're going to fog a glass, and then at some point close your lips and it'll come out your nose and you'll have the practice. And ideally, the tongue is curled to the palate or the back of the teeth. The gaze is up into the brow. There's a lot going on here. So make the gaze gentle. If you try to look too hard, it's going to start to take all your attention up here, and you'll lose the quantity down here. So just think about tongue curled, looking in the brow, and pumping the belly. Think about 1 pump per second. It can be done faster if it feels rhythmic to your body and your anatomy and your organs right now. You can do it as fast as a hummingbird if you want to. As long as it feels comfortable. If I keep doing it, it won't feel comfortable a little bit and I need to stop. And take some cleansing breaths. This is how you build this practice. And then you start again. Every time you stop and take a cleansing breath, when you start back again, you feel more like smiling. And when you find yourself losing that little smirk, that little grin, that little Buddha smile, stop again. Your face is a good monitor to tell you when to stop or when to go deeper into yoga pose or not. If you lose your breath, you'll start to lose the facial expressions. So that's why it's always important to smile just a little bit. And always notice your smile and your breath. And anytime you lose that smile, your cheeks start to go down. Stop. Find a breath. It makes you want to smile all over again. And you gently start back up. working all vital organs in the body. Always stop, take a cleansing breath. Very important not to try to get a second wind in this practice, because it can totally reverse what we're trying to gain out of the practice, is to try to keep disease out of the body, especially with this virus going around. So a little bit of pump in the belly, mindfully, when it hurts, you need to stop. Cleansing breath, and it's a constant, it's like meditation. When you meditate, pretty soon all these thoughts come over your head and your breath gets a little bit messed up, and you got to recalibrate. You got to go back to the breath. And it's a constant, thoughts back to breath, thoughts back to breath. And when we can do that gently, we can start to strengthen our mind and get intelligence. Our mind opens up and kind of tells us what we need to do to be on our path in life. On the last exhale, we're going to grab all three locks and sustain the breath out of the body. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Julandhara chin lock, and it's like the last exhale. Grab them all, drop in, and sustain the breath out. No breathing. And gently inhale, raise your head up, and you have a little smile on your face. God, it was amazing. One little practice opened up all the energy in my body. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and smile. When you are ready, let's raise the hands to the sky, reach them up, reach them high. Drop one hand down. Mirror me, that would be your left hand. Inhale and find space. Exhale, side stretch. You can look up, you can look down, you can move the wrist around. Every time we inhale, we lengthen, go deeper in the pose or not. Amazing. We hold the pose, but we don't hold the breath. Let's move the hand only, just the hand. Reaching for a carrot. Let the head go. Maybe put the hand on the waistline or the back of the heart. Gently move your head up and down. Yes and no, and all the up and down positions. You can go round and round. And when you are ready, bring your rooted hand and come back to center. And we'll get the other side, stick them up. Drop the other hand down, inhale and find space, exhale. Dip it into the other side. It feels amazing. Again, you can look up or down, you can move the wrists, the fingers around. Every time we inhale, we straighten elbow. Every time we exhale, we go a little deeper or not. Let's move the hand only, just the hand. Reaching for that carrot, 6 inches off the earth. Maybe waistline, back of the heart. Let head go. With a little smile on your face, move your head up and down. Yes and no, and all the up and down positions. You can go round and round. When you are ready, bring your rooted hand, come back to center. A little bobblehead. Let's drop into the chin lock. Take the ear to one shoulder, take your eyes up into the brow, and draw a circle around the room. Open your eyes wide, so you kind of feel a draft around your eye socket, your eyeball. Let's go the other way a couple times. Snap, crackle, pop, that's what I'm getting. Wow. Come back to center, a little bobblehead, goose neck, Egyptian neck. Don't forget to go the other way. Come back to center. Take a slug of water. Let's see. Let's do something gentle. Let's do sitting barrel rolls. Let's bring the heart forward. Oh, it's going to be a little roll, so just a little roll. Anybody can do this practice. It's all about doing a little bit of something as opposed to a lot of nothing. And things change in our anatomy. One of the reasons I'm doing this video is because I need to move energy in my body. And I feel it. Don't forget to go the other way a few times. And come back to center. Bring the hands to the deltoids. Woo. Bring your elbows together and lift up. I think we're going to start this out as an easy class. Oh boy, that felt amazing. Oh. Let's go the other way a couple of times. One more. And come back to center. We're going to do left and right. It doesn't matter if you exhale left or inhale left. It doesn't matter. So whichever way you want to go first. Let's exhale one way and inhale the other way. Exhale. Inhale. And you can go slow as you want. You can go fast as lightning. You know your spine. You might just want to do it like this. It's okay. We're doing something. And things are happening in our body. And in Kundalini Yoga, this is done with the eyes closed. And the gaze is up into the brow. The tongue is curled to the palate. Remember, it's okay to go slow. We're trying to keep the spine straight. So when we twist, we don't want to do this and lean into it. We want to kind of keep the spine straight. So that might mean just do a little twist. Let's come back to center. Release the hands to the ground. I have shoulder rotator cuff injury, so I feel it every time I do a little, just something little like that. Amazing. But I keep moving. Let's see, let's do a sitting cat-cow, Kundalini style. So we inhale and bring the heart forward. When we exhale, we grab Mula Bandha, root lock, Kegel muscle. The head is supposed to stay level, like you're moving a hockey puck back and forth on a table. But if you want to look up and fold in, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just a different way to do the pose. I lost my breath in it. It's okay, just come back to your breath when you lose it. Whew. Then we exhale, we grab Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Kegel muscle, chin lock, sustain. And when you're ready, gently rise back up. Wow, amazing. Let's bring our left foot out in front of us. Try to find the most direct spine you can find. Lift your heart. Then move with your heart over the shin bone. Move your heart towards the knee. Be so happy here. Find breath. And then go a little deeper if you want to. But always inhale before you go deeper into a pose. And you exhale and go deeper. trying to keep the spine erect. You can put your hands deeper or shallower, it's up to you. Now I'm going to lengthen out the top of the head. I'm going to go ahead and round the spine all the way down in. Look in your heart. Let's gently rise back up. Bring the right leg out, the left leg in. Now this one feels a little bit not comfortable. Almost like it went to sleep a little bit. So we're going to do some tapping. Brings the chi back in the leg. Now ready, bring your other leg in. See, I'm going to get a little sideways here so I can actually see my spine in the mirror. So bring your right plantar muscle to your inner quad. Telescope the spine, expand the ribs out, get tall. And gently move your heart towards your knee. You can park your hands on your knee. You can start to move them towards your shin. Some people can grab their toe. But at first, to do this right, I can't grab the toe. I need to lift. And then slowly keep your spine erect and move it closer to the knee. We hold the pose, but we don't hold the breath. Now we're going to, because I can grab the toes in this pose, you can grab your shin, your ankle. We're going to inhale and lengthen out the top of the head, find space. As we exhale, we're going to draw a line from the horizon to the toe, the ankle, the shin bone, the knee, the thigh, maybe your heart. And you can pedal this if you like now. Be kind to your spine. It's easy to pull a muscle in this pose if you're not careful and if you haven't done this pose for a long time or many years. When you are ready, gently rise back up. Bring the left leg out. If it feels like there's any issues, give it a rub, a tap. Brings the chi back into the leg. Now we'll do a simple forward fold. Trying to get my sit bones out. So again, lift your heart, lean into the pose. What could help this pose is if you interlace your hands behind the back and open your heart. God, it feels so good on the shoulders. You can do a little elephant trunk and work your way into this pose. Trying to keep the spine as erect as you can. God, that feels amazing. Left and right, elephant trunk. I'm getting away from the meaning of the pose. Lift, lean into it. Lift the hands. Move the heart. Release the hands. Grab the toes if possible. Inhale out the top of the head. Then exhale from the horizon between the toes with your eyes. Lengthen. Look in your heart and find your breath. You can pedal this if you like. You can feel my left side is a little tighter than my right. From here, we're gently going to rise back up. Let's come to the tabletop. And tabletop. Side plank. Take your right hand, point it towards the center of the mat, line your left knee up, suction cup your back foot to the back. You got a kickstand here if you need it. Raise your left hand, sky. Reach it up, reach it high. Try to feel the engagement with the back foot on the earth. So you don't want to lean into it where it's all on the shoulder. You can do full plank if you like. knot. I'm a knot today. Oh, it feels amazing right there. Oh. Okay, let's bring it on down and go right to the other side. Left hand on the earth. Line up your left knee, suction cup the right foot to the back. Raise your left hand to the sky. If you need a kickstand, it's right here. Don't collapse into your shoulder. Always press the ground away and lift up. You're reaching for the ceiling. You can lift this leg up if you like. You can even reach around and grab it. Let's come back to tabletop. Whew. I feel like a cat-cow. Let's look up. And smile, lean forward. Come all the way back to a child pose. And pull up madcap from child. And repeat on your own, forward and back. Or forward and then tabletop, drop the belly, look up. Then forward, then back. Then madcap. Then forward, then tabletop. Drop the belly, look up. Repeat on your own. When you are ready, come back to center. Wag the tail, throw your tail to one side. Look over your bicep at your tail. See how close you can get your eyes to your tail. When you are ready, come center. Throw the tail to the other side. Repeat on your own. Find a rhythm. Find a flow. I'm inhaling forward, exhaling back. I'm finding the rhythm, the dance with the breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. Come back to center. Woo. Let's thread the needle. Take your left hand, pointing towards the center of the mat. Raise right hand up. Take the right hand underneath the armpit of the left. Sit it down. Drop the right shoulder to the ground. Be mindful that your hips don't move to the left. Try to stabilize your hips. If you want more out of this pose, you can bring the left toes out in front of the nose. And grab them with your hands or not. Find your breath. Oh my gosh, you can start to move around in this pose if you want to. And let's bring it all back to center. Raise right hand to sky. And sit the right hand down. Point them fingers towards the center of the mat. Raise your left hand up. And take the left hand underneath the armpit of the right. Sit it down. Drop the left shoulder to the ground. Notice your hips want to move to the right. Instantly almost. Be mindful. Stabilize your hips. Take as long as you need to get down here. It feels amazing. We want to have our hips over our knees. If you want more, right toes out in front of the nose or not. Now let your body breathe. And think about root lock, breath. Because your pelvic floor is open in this pose. And every time you grab the pelvic floor, it detoxifies the body. It activates the immune system. Woo. And slows down the aging process. Let's bring it all back to center. Raise left hand to sky. And sit that hand down. Curl the toes under, lift the hips to the sky. Roof, roof. Down dog. You can walk the dog, bend the knee, move the heart towards the straight leg, inhale the center or the side. You can be organic and creative if you want to. So let's do that. Let's bring our left foot forward, about a foot and a half, and then twist the left toes out away from you. Ooh, you can do this how you like. And let's go to the other side. Left foot back, right toes in. Turn the toes out away from you. Be organic and do it your way. We're just trying to move the muscles on the bone. Good, I feel amazing. And from here, we're gently going to walk or launch our feet between the hands and look up halfway. Forward fold. Cross the elbows, let the head hang like a ripe fruit. Try not to look at your toes, try to look between your shin bones. Go left and right and left. With the breath. Wow, all the functions work way better with the breath. Come back to center, release the hands, weight in the heels, roll up a vertebrae at a time. Mountain pose. Femur bone back, pelvis forward, with the shoulders to the ears, rolling back, find your breath. When you all are ready, let's raise our hands to the sky. Reach them up, reach them high, interlace the fingers, reverse palm, lift, lift, lift. Arch back like a banana. It's called standing wheel. This pose is so beneficial to all the organs in the body. The waistline. I'm boxing off the ears now with the biceps. I'm starting to feel my solar plexus, my lower dantian, my heart. I'm going to go deeper, my throat, my brow. Age-defying pose. Even when you don't have time to do yoga, you should do this pose. You can do it anywhere. Forward fold. Micro bend in the knees to protect your spine. Woo. Look up halfway and smile. Exhale to plank. Drop to the knees if you need to. Lower down, elbows brushing the ribs. When you get down there, stay down. Woo-hoo. Bring the hands underneath the thighs, palms down ideally. It's called locust. We're going to lift the back half up. When you are ready, exhale your feet to the sky and let your body breathe. This strengthens all the lower spine. Ooh, your tailbone, your glutes. When you're ready, gently release. Take your hands out, bring them out front for Sphinx pose. So we have the elbow under the shoulder. We're taking our tiger paws, kitty claws here, and we're digging them into the earth. And we're going to anchor our pelvis down to the earth, and then lift out the crown of the head. And you're pulling the spine forward. Spinal therapy. One of the main reasons I do yoga is for my spine and my mind. I'm lengthening. I'm starting to feel this beautiful traction coming from the tailbone, out the lower lumbar, up into the mid-back. And from here, we're just going to lie all the way down. We're going to go into crocodile pose. So we bring the toes together. We make a prayer and reach out with our prayer. We bring the forehead to the earth. When we find our breath, we're trying to see how much space we can get between the fingers and the toes. So every time you inhale, lengthen out. And every time you exhale, just dissolve into the pose. Wow. Gently rise up. Child pose. Knees together, toes apart. More spinal therapy. God, it feels amazing on my spine. And when you are ready, gently rise back up. Curl the toes under. Down dog. A little yoga moonwalk. When you are ready, let's bring the left leg into pigeon pose. Drop down on your right knee. Walk the back toes away from the front. With a little smile on your face. Stay high. Go low. It's all about the breath and a rhythm and a beautiful flow. God, that feels amazing. But I'm gonna roll this into mermaid pose. You can follow along. You can stay in the pigeon pose. So this is more spinal therapy. So roll over onto your, if you want to, onto your left hip. Bring your right thigh to your left plantar muscle. Turn a little bit here. Then lift your torso up and lay it over the middle or the back of your left thigh. You can make a pillow here. You might put your whole heart on the earth. You can certainly use a block in this pose. When my back really hurts, I use this bolster. Whew, God, it feels amazing. Oh. And you can like stay in the pose a little longer. God, it feels amazing. And when you lay on this side, it has more effect on your digestive system. Because I've done this hundreds of times, and every time I'm on my left side, I feel something moving in the body, in the digestive tract. So you can actually just fall asleep. I had before in this pose. God, it feels amazing. And when you're ready, gently rise up and we will do the other side. So slowly unwind. Come back to pigeon pose. That's what we'll do. And then we'll scorpion tail, left leg to sky. Remember, this can be done in tabletop. You just lift the leg up and bend it over. If you want to go deeper, always pushing into the left hand and moving your heart back towards the standing leg. Woo! Amazing. When you are ready, go ahead and kick that leg out, sit it down, walk the dog. Woof, woof. And we will do the other side. What do you think? Bring the right foot into pigeon pose. Drop down on your left knee, walk the back toes away from the front. A little smile on your face, stay high or go low. So again, if you want to go into mermaid pose with me, you don't have to, but if you want to work on your spine, if you have a bad spine like me, even if you don't have a bad spine, it's still a good pose. Drop over onto your right hip. Whoa. This guy before it gets too far out of my way. And then bring your left thigh to your right plantar muscle. And then lift your heart and try to move it over the middle or the back of your right thigh. Oh gosh. Whew. I'm probably out of the camera here. I don't know what I'm doing. How's that? Oh my gosh. If you have any comments, always hit the like button, please, if you're on Facebook, on YouTube. And give me any comments if you think I'm going too slow or you want me to go faster. Just let me know. And I'll try to bring to you whatever you ask. And from here, we're going to slowly unwind. God, that feels amazing. Whew. Let's come back to pigeon pose if you aren't already there. And then either come to tabletop, scorpion tail, right leg up, or scorpion tail and down dog. Kick it out, sit it down, walk the dog. Woo-hoo. Mm-hmm. Let's see, let's walk, hop, or launch our feet between the hands and look up halfway. Forward fold. Mm-hmm. Bend the knees, roll up a vertebrae at a time. I think I need to quit jumping forward. I felt that in my spine. Let's raise a hand to the sky. Make a prayer. Bring the prayer to your heart. Bend the knees. Put all the weight in the right foot. Step back with the left. Warrior one. Always remember, if you want to dial in your warrior one, you look down, and you should be shadowing everything but the big toe with your knee. If you want it to be a little harder, make the gap between the feet a little further. From here, let's swim our hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Look up. Lion's breath. Inhale. Lemon. Lift your hands off the tailbone. Take your eyes to your heart. Humble warrior. You can open them if you want. Woo. If you want a two-legged balance challenge, keep them closed. We can all lift our hands a little more off the tailbone. You know you can. Then back to warrior one. Warrior two. Remember, even Grandpa can do this practice. You just change the distance between the feet. The knee still on top of the ankle. If I walk it back, I still keep the knee on top of the ankle. I don't know if you can see the lizard in the tank, but it looks like he's about ready to fall off his log. From here, we're going to come back, we're going to straighten the front leg. Turn that toe in, we're going to go right to the other side, warrior two. We're going to go to warrior one. Other side. So let's dial it in again. You can bend the knee. Only want to see the big toe on the inside of the front foot. If bending the knee is not comfortable, walk the back foot in. Make it comfortable for you. And make sure you move your heart over the thigh. I'm going to find my pose. And your pose is wherever you can hang out with about 5 breaths without struggling. That's how you find your pose. If you're struggling, just back out of the pose a little bit. Do it a little gentler. I notice my sternum keeps turning to the right. It's mindfulness, just like meditation. Most people don't realize it, but life is a meditation. Let's swing the hands behind the back and release the fingers. Look up cat's breath. This time we don't make noise. Inhale. Lemon. Lift your hands out the tailbone. Take your lemon to your heart or your eyes. If you want a two-legged balance challenge, do the lemon. Now let's lift our hands a little more off the tailbone. Take the eyes deeper to the heart. Find your breath. God, that feels amazing. Let's come back to warrior one. Warrior two. Now let's straighten the front leg. Turn that toe in. Parallel with the other toe. Pull your britches up. Get a slug of water. Let's see, bring the hands to the waist. Micro bend the knees, slowly. Hands on the knees, micro bend the knees, slowly lower yourself to the earth. Bring your hands down parallel to the feet. If you have a block, you can use a block in this pose. If you have 2 blocks, you can use 2. You can put them under your crown of your head. What helps me a lot when my body doesn't want to bend, I just bend my knees. I get my head closer to the earth. I'm really pressing into the hands here so I feel all the major muscle groups in the body. I got a little smile on my face and I'm finding my breath. Always purifying the lungs when you have a beautiful breath. Let's look up halfway and smile. We're alive. Let's move to the right. Take a nibble and find your breath. And watch your breath take you deeper into the pose or not. So always think about inhaling and lengthening, maybe even coming out of the pose on the inhale a little bit. And we exhale, we go a little deeper into it. And always go to know the difference between your strength and flexibility, and you will never hurt yourself in yoga. Because what we're doing is we're stretching muscles and contracting them, and it's easy to pull a muscle. Let's go to the other side. Again, take a nibble, find your breath. And once I find that rhythm with my breath, and I can start to work myself deeper in the pose, if my body says okay. Let's come back to center. Walk the hands out front for wide-legged down dog. Spread your fingers wide on the earth. Move your heart back between the standing legs. And we're trying to have the hips over the center of our pyramid here, so we don't want to be back like this. We could be a little forward, I guess. But ideally we want to be in a nice, like the thighs are an imaginary wall. And we move the heart back. And from here we're going to do combo pose, cambo pose. We come forward, shoulders over the wrist, drop the knees to the earth. You can lift the toes, lift the knees. I'm going to sit back so I make sure I'm in the camera. Woo. And sit back in frog pose. It feels amazing. You can manipulate this pose. Oh my gosh. Woo. 'Cause I've been doing this pose for so long, it doesn't, I mean, I feel it, but not like somebody might feel it that hasn't done this pose for years. God, that feels amazing. Woo. You can be an extension here. You can work your tiger paws into the earth. Oh my God, it feels amazing. Oh. Well, you can start to breathe from pelvic floor because it's open. It's just a reminder when I get in this pose, it reminds me to breathe from the pelvic floor. Some people move right and left in this pose. And when you all are ready, let's come back to center. Bring your tiger paws, kitty claws on the earth, on the tabletop. Whew. Let's come to standing. Let's walk the knees forward a little bit. Let's come to this prayer squat. Just rock back on the toes. This is a pose actually. Whew. And try to lift the toes, the heels off the earth. With a little smile on your face, try to find your midline, your breath. Lift your heart. A nice day today. I would have done this outside if I had my lawn mowed. And from here we're going to go into crane. You don't have to do crane. Ooh. That's a say. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So from here, we're going to come forward like we're in tabletop again. So this time we're going to take the feet a little wide. I'm going to sit back. Make a prayer. And say a prayer for the world. Everybody find your breath and heal your body. And may we all be free from the coronavirus. Give yourself a hug. God, it feels amazing. Whoa. And you could just do this and move around in this pose. But if you want to do an arm balance, you bring your tiger paws, kitty claws on the earth, you spread your fingers wide, you lean forward, readjust your knees underneath the armpits as close as doable. If you want to use a block, bring it out front, and slowly lean forward, put your forehead on the block, touch down, bring your feet together, and then try to find midline and bring it up from there. Of course, you could do a headstand here if you want to. So if you want to do a headstand, we just kind of go forward, put the crown on the earth. Whew, there we are. Then we slowly bring the feet to the sky. You can do a little twist if you want to. You can do the splits. Let me try to nail our crane one more time. Woo. Back to prayer squat. That felt amazing. Okay, let's roll up to standing. do a balance pose. Let's see. I'm trying to make this a gentle class. So the Qigong balance pose would be perfect for this class. So stiffen one leg and really be up tall in that leg. Doesn't matter which one. Lift the opposite knee up. Hold an energy ball. It's called Qigong balance pose. One hovers thigh, one next to eye. And we're gently going to go right and left and right. So if you're having problems with balance, it's okay to stay here. It's okay to put your toe down and bring it back up as many times as you need to. But if you can stand still, it's okay. Let's go left and right, right and left. Take a nibble, back, nibble. If you want to chunk. So we're trying to focus on the plantar muscle. So when we go this way, this plantar muscle goes down, we go that way, that one goes down, this side, that side of the foot, that side. That's a save, by the way. But if you fall, switch legs, go the other side. Very important. And I will explain why in a moment. This is good for Alzheimer's, dementia. It creates equilibrium in the nervous system. It balances the male and female hormones in the body. It's good for plantar fasciitis and varicose veins, but it doesn't work if you fall out of the pose and you come back up on that same leg. You must switch legs for it to mesh the right and left hemisphere of your body. Cold and hot, light and dark, sun and moon, yin and yang. Polar opposites. Without them, nothing would exist as we see it. So having that harmony with the polar opposites in our body is what changes everything in our body, every cell in our body. When you're ready, come back to center. Woo. Let's make a prayer. Let's take our right foot and tee off to the left, bend the knees. Step the right foot out and lift the right heel off the earth. And smile. Some people said, what do you do with your hands, Rob? And if you were doing martial arts, it would be here. If you want to do a chamber and a kick, it's mindfulness of the standing leg, the bottom of the foot. You do a kick. You want to do a side kick? I don't know if my body's going to say yes today or not. It's okay. Falling's part of life. You just come back, put the foot down, turn that toe in, tee off on the other side. Bend the knees, step the left heel out, lift it off the earth. If you want a chamber and kick, it's a chamber. If you don't feel comfortable, just do this, or this, or this. Okay, let's come back to center. Let's come down to the earth. Come on our sit bones. Let's come on to our backs. We're going to do a back exercise here. Most of my students know that I don't have no disc between my vertebrae. It can be very painful, especially if I don't do a yoga practice several times a week. Sometimes I can't walk. I had a bad episode here about a week ago. That hurt so bad I was waking people up in the house. So yoga is my only way to stay out of a wheelchair. So you can do this. I've done this with Anaforce. I've also done it in therapy, my back therapy. But you can put a block between your thighs here, or a ball, like a spongy kid's ball. So we're going to do mini cat-cows here. We're going to watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to inhale, lift my heart, lift my belly. And I'm going to exhale, I'm going to grab root lock, mula bandha, kegel muscle. I'm going to hold it all the way down in. And I'm going to squeeze the block in with my thighs until I need to breathe in again. Then I release it all and lift it up. And we grab kegel, exhale, pull it down, and smush your back into the earth. No room under there now. Then we inhale and we make that space. Oh boy, that feels amazing. Exhale, tuck and curl, hold the breath, no breathing, squeeze the block. Inhale up. Let's do 4 more of them. Grab kegel, pull down, squeeze, block, hold breath. Inhale. Repeat. One more. Oh boy. Amazing stuff. Let's come back to center. Bridge pose. You can grab your ankles and do this pose. I could too, but I won't because it'll hurt my back. So I release the ankles. I know my pose is where my fingertips can touch my Achilles tendon. And I like to clasp my hands at the sit bones. It's up to you how you do this pose. You can do upward facing bow if you like. Now it's important to grab your first 2 chakras, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. So that's root lock, your lower dog chin, just below the navel. And hold those chakras, don't let them go. But let your breath be beautiful and let it flow. Lift a little higher, keep holding your locks. This is good for kidney stones. I've had 2 students tell me that it works. It's also a spinal pose. I have an artificial knee. Most people know that. So it's also a knee therapy recovery pose. Oh my God, it feels amazing. Yep, I've held this pose for more than 10 minutes before. When you come down, you're like, whoa. So let's slowly lower the hips to the earth. Release your hands if you have them interlaced. Bring your knees into your heart. I call it the poor man's massage. Pull your knees to your right shoulder. Give yourself a squeeze, a hug. Rock on your tailbone, left shoulder. Squeeze, hug. So normally we do yoga bicycles, and you can certainly do them if you like. We're going to do stretch pose. So let's stretch out on the mat, wherever you are. Heels together. Whew. We're going to rise up like Frankenstein. So we're going to bring the torso 6 inches off the earth. The feet 6 inches off the earth. The hands are going to be right next to the thighs. So inhale and rise up. Remember, if this is not doable for you, you can lift the feet further up to the sky. Make it doable here. Now we're going to do the breath of fire, the first pose we did today. So the air goes out, the belly goes in, the hands go down. We inhale up, Repeat, air out, hands down. If you want it to be harder, lower the feet closer to the earth. Let's go. You can stop anytime you want to. Take a break, come back and join the class. Let's start to play a song. You could quit anytime you want to. 4-person massage. Woo! Sire hum, a moaner groan. Whoa. Woo. Okay. Let's bring our plantar muscles down to the earth. Let's see. Let's lift our hips and move them to the left, and sit them down. Lift them, move them 2 inches to the left, sit them down. Drop your knees to the right. Now if you want to go deeper in this pose, take your right foot on top of your left. Whew, like a little weight. God, it feels amazing. Now reach your hands out like airplane wings. I should say like a cross, because airplane wings are kind of like this somewhat. So more like a cross. Now lift your head, keep it in line with your spine, and turn it to the left. And sit your head back down. And let your body breathe. We find a pose, and we hold the pose, but we don't hold breath. Life is a sequence of one breath after another. And it's learning to be present on the breath you have. Being mindful of breathing. Let's bring it all back to center. If you crossed your legs, uncross them, straighten your head. Now lift your hips and move them to the center. Find your breath and lift your hips one more time and move them to the right. 2 inches, sit them down. Start to move the knees to the left. If you want to go deeper, you don't have to, but you take your left foot on top of the right. Spread your wings out. Straighten your elbows. Reach out. Lift your head. Turn it to the right. Sit your head back down and smile. And when you all are ready, let's gently unwind. Woo. Oh, I felt that. Wow. Release the left leg if you crossed it, and recenter your hips. Oh, that felt amazing. Bring your knees into your heart. One more little massage. So I'm trying to go slower on this video. If you like slower, please let me know in the comment. If you don't, please let me know. Either way, your opinion is very valuable. From here, we're going to go into corpse pose. So we take our heels. I need a drink of water. To the corner of the mat. Elbows to the side. Open your palms to the heavens. If you don't feel plush, now's the time to rock back and forth. To make sure your head's in line, it's really important. You should lift your head, drop into chin lock, hold the lock, set your head back on the earth, and then release the chin lock and let your body go. Soften your cheek, your tongue, your jaw. And let your eyes rest heavy in the head. Gently have your tongue curl to the palate with a little smile on your face. Start to notice your breath. And if you feel totally winded, you can take a couple of huffy puffy breaths. And start to slow it down from there. And tell yourself, this is who I am. I am breath. I worked hard for my body maintenance today. And I can really feel my breath. You don't even have to monitor the breath, just watch it. It'll do all the beautiful work on its own. Just be aware of the breath. Watch how it comes in your lungs and how it leaves your lungs. And the more you pay attention to the breath, your body starts to release and unwind. The more we pay attention to the breath, we feel the benefits of the practice we just done. Because when you totally focus on the breath, it takes you out of your ego. It starts to clear the cobwebs in your monkey mind. And I'm starting to focus in my third eye center. I'm just going in to my vessel. I notice my breath is more smooth and less rigid. And the more we bask in our own breath, I don't even have to take my attention to my hands and my feet. I can feel the bottoms of my feet. I can feel the palms of my hands, my fingers. Everything is moving. We opened up all the prana that we could find in our bodies, and now it's flowing like a river. And my body is so happy. I can feel this pure body that we've created. I've created, you've created, Take some time and observe your practice in corpse pose. We totally focus the breath and on the breath. We feel our body. And we've been here 5 minutes. Please pause the video and stay longer if you like. It feels amazing to be alive. Let's thank ourselves for showing up on the mat today for our own body maintenance, our own healing. Because when we heal ourselves, we heal our neighbor, Mother Earth, Father Sky, and it goes all the way to infinity. Let's start to bring ourselves back. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, the nose, the lips, the jaw. Wrist rolls and ankle rolls. Maybe a glute roll. Let's bring our heels together and make a palm tree over the crown of the head. Really elongate the body, elongate, reach, reach, reach. Try to bring the pinkies to the earth if it's doable. Let's all take a big inhale. Root lock, sire hum. Let's bring our plantar muscles to the edge of the mat. We're going to roll over and take 3 breaths. So lift your hips, move them to your favorite side, sit them down, and roll over and make a pillow out of your hands. And find your breath. I'll count them. Strong, long breaths. Smooth breaths. One more. When you exhale, gently grab root lock, stretch out the top toes, push them into the earth, rise up. Whew, come to sitting. Take all the time that you might need. Wow. Here we are. Again, thank you all for allowing me to come into your home and practice body maintenance with you all. Always remember, do a little of something as opposed to a lot of nothing. And things will change in your body, it will change in your life. It's all about doing a little bit of something every day. You can save this video, you can do 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes. You don't have to do, I think it's going to be like an hour and 15 minutes or 10. Always do something. Let's give thanks to our practice. Let's swim our hands to the sky, make a prayer. Bring the thumbs to the crown, touch down to the brow, 6th sense. To your throat, communications in your heart. Love, kindness, peace, compassion. Lean forward. Namaste.